This is Today in St. Louis, focused on you.
We got multiple cars struck on the highway, multiple officers down. I mean, everything you have right now. Multiple patrol cars struck.
Well, we are following this breaking and developing story from overnight. Less than just a half hour ago, we learned 5 officers are now hurt. Also, a K-9 unit were hit by a vehicle on I-70. We've also learned that 3 of those officers are in serious condition.
It has been a very busy night in St. Louis. Good morning, everybody. I'm Rennie Knott.
And I'm Michelle Lee. Before we check in with Anthony and Paul for a look at weather and traffic like we normally do, we do want to get you updated on this breaking story. Our Alex Fees is live there and has the very latest on the injured officers and really how all of this started, Alex.
Yes, Michelle and Rennie, that's right. Good morning. You're right. We do have an update. Initially, we were told it was 4 officers. Now we understand it is 5 officers. 3 Lake St. Louis police officers are listed in serious condition this morning. 2 St. Charles County Sheriff's deputies were said to have moderate injuries. I'm going to step out of the way and give you a live look now at I-70 here near 270. Again, this happened at 1:45 a.m. We want to show you the highway now. It's open because this is a stark contrast to what it looked like a couple hours ago when it was closed. Again, Missouri State Highway Patrol officials tell us 3 officers are from Lake St. Louis and 2 are St. Charles County Sheriff's deputies. All 5 were injured overnight while investigating a police chase that happened earlier. Right now, it's unclear exactly how many police cars were involved, but more than 1 car was damaged here on the scene. Now, we're told that a vehicle struck the police cars, which may then have struck officers who were outside of their vehicles on the highway. Officers inside the police cars may have sustained injuries as well. We saw 1 person taken into custody. Officials say it was a 31-year-old male arrested on suspicion of driving while intoxicated. The scene was very chaotic overnight. A helicopter was dispatched to the scene as a precaution, but it was unnecessary. All 5 officers were transported via ambulance. Corporal Logan Bolton updated us about a half hour ago on the officers' conditions.
Yeah, we believe that, so altogether there were 4 Lake St. Louis PD officers on the scene there, and 2 St. Charles County deputies. The St. Charles County deputies we're believed to have moderate injuries. And then the 3 out of the 4 Lake St. Louis PD officers we believe are serious injuries at this time.
Now, we also understand that a dog, a police dog, a K-9 unit, as officers refer to them, was injured as well. We believe that dog was inside one of the police cars that was struck by the car that entered into the to that scene officers were investigating. That animal, that dog, was transported to a local veterinary clinic overnight for treatment. That is the latest from here in St. Louis County. We will provide updates on the officers' conditions on our website, KSDK.com, and you can access that through the 5 on Your Side app. I'm Alex Fees reporting live, 5 on Your Side.
All right, it's Paul Cook taking a look at the traffic this morning, and Alex's report goes a long way in underscoring how important awareness is out there, especially when you don't expect things to be there, and you've got to really know where you're flying along early in the morning. You might see an emergency vehicle, so just be very, very careful depending on where you are. We do have an incident 55 northbound at the Merrimack River Bridge. No delay there yet, but we're going to keep an eye on it, and this is nearby. You can tell volume moving very, very well. All right, what can we expect with weather? Here's Anthony Slaughter.
All right, Paul, thanks so much. This morning it's colder, so you may have a little frost on the windshield if you did park the car outside. Look at our neighborhoods. We're all at or below freezing, with the exception of Florissant. You're at 35 degrees. It's 29 in Cahokia Heights, 25 in Eureka, and 29 this morning in Wentzville. So definitely grab the coat as you head out the door, but you could probably lose a layer today. We're back into the 60s this afternoon, and we'll have ample sunshine around for the day ahead, so also grab the shades before you head out. We're still tracking severe weather for Friday. We'll update you on the timeline for that coming up.
Thanks so much, Anthony. This morning, the Missouri Senate is considering stripping the city's control over its police force in favor of a state-run police board. In a few hours, a racial justice organization called Action St. Louis will go to Jefferson City to talk with lawmakers about rethinking taking state control. 5 on Your Side spoke with the last mayor to lead the city under state control. Francis Slay was the longest-serving mayor ever in St. Louis, and now he wants Senate Republicans to remember the scandals and corruption and political favors that happened under a police board.
One of them actually was making passes at police officers. A male.
You're suggesting sexual harassment was?
One was making passes at police officers for, for promises of a promotion.
Okay.
Another one had a relative that was involved in a criminal situation that tried to pull the record or somehow
Squash the evidence.
Squash the evidence.
Slay said to have true accountability, control of police has to rest in city government. Ultimately, the decision could come down to Governor Mike Parson. He says he has not made up his mind this morning.
Now you can see the full interview with the former mayor, Francis Slay, tomorrow at 3 o'clock on The Record. You can also catch it on 5 Plus, which you can download for free right now on Roku or Amazon Fire TV. Also happening today at the Missouri State Capitol, LGBTQ plus organizations and advocates will stand on the steps to protest for trans rights. It comes in response to the passage of Senate Bill 39, a bill on transgender kids playing team sports, and Senate Bill 49, a ban on gender-affirming care for minors. The rally will begin at 2 o'clock this afternoon in Jefferson City. Right now, the bill heads to the Missouri House for a vote.
Well, as we know, tomorrow is opening day for the Cardinals, and St. Louis will be painted red as tens of thousands make their way downtown for the game.
It's always such a good day, but it's also a time when people are concerned about their safety in downtown St. Louis. Our Sydney Stallworth is live for us this morning at Busch Stadium. And Sydney, what did the police have planned to keep everybody safe tomorrow?
Well, Rennie, Michelle, we do know at this point St. Louis Metro Police have announced that they're going to have increased patrols downtown for opening day tomorrow, but we don't know any other details just yet. We're going to hear a full plan from SLMPD in just a couple of hours later on this morning. But you should know that safety is top of mind for tomorrow with all the fans making their way downtown. You know, it was just last weekend that SLMPD teamed up with the Downtown Community Improvement District to make the downtown streets safer for pedestrians. They actually blocked off a pedestrian pathway at the America Center and ramped up patrols in the area while the city hosted a volleyball tournament. And this comes a month after a Tennessee volleyball player in town for a different tournament lost her legs when a driver hit her outside the dome. Again, we'll learn in just a couple of hours if SLMPD has something similar planned for tomorrow. In the meantime, you can protect yourself and others by following the safety rules inside Busch Stadium. Be sure to be aware of these. You can bring a bag inside Busch, but it can't be larger than 10 by 8 by 10 inches. The only exceptions to this rule are diaper bags and, of course, medical bags. You can bring some outside food and drinks as long as those drinks are non-alcoholic and in a clear plastic container. Sunscreen is also allowed inside the stadium, but remember, you cannot bring in aerosol cans. Now, we'll be at Downtown Police Headquarters later on this morning to hear the full plan and see how St. Louis Police plan on tackling these safety concerns. That briefing is going to start at 9:15 this morning. Reporting live downtown, I'm Sydney Stallworth, 5 on Your Side.
All right, thanks for that update, Sydney. This morning, we are hearing of some fog that's developing, and I've been looking at some of the cameras. You can actually barely see this. This is in downtown over the Poplar Street. So I've highlighted the area which just shows right through the lights where you can kind of make out the fog. So just be mindful because our temperatures are below freezing in some instances. That could cause some slick spots. Of course, Paul will have updates if it does, but just want you to be aware that there is a little fog that has developed around the riverbeds this morning. We're still watching Thursday night into Friday as the storm system makes its approach. We are now outlooked from the Storm Prediction Center for dangerous weather on Friday and enhanced risk. That's the 3rd out of 5 highest, so a very high risk. And this could produce tornadoes and damaging winds in excess of 60 miles per hour, especially Friday afternoon and evening. We'll take a deeper dive into this and a look at the weekend forecast in its entirety coming up.